brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. Now it's sippin' time.
Hello and welcome to this Sips episode where everything good in life is worth discussing. As always, we are the best thing on at 2 a.m. This is a 1-hour show that is hypothetically entertaining for upwards of 20 minutes.
I'm going for 25 today, man.
But since we just went through daylight savings time, that gives us an hour back, so we've got an extra hour of entertainment factor. That's an hour and 20 minutes in an hour-minute show.
Yeah. Hour and 25 if we're pushing it? Yes, we're doing great.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when the fall happens, then we go into the negative. So
that's why you always make love around 2 a.m. that day. Mm-hmm. Got an extra hour.
Yeah, on daylight savings time day, Harm made love to his wife for an hour and 30 seconds. It was awesome. So
thank you, daylight savings.
This is Made Man Bob, and joining me today, our Made Man Brent.
It's a pleasure to be here. I saw a jackalope running through the front yard on my way down to the basement.
Yeah, and you killed it and ate it. And Made Man Maury.
Good morning, Bob. Pleasure to be here. I love what you did with the basement today. The horse theme is really wonderful.
What are you talking about? Yeah. And good old boy Justin.
Good morning, Bob.
And good old boy Harmeet.
Well, I would say roll tide, but, you know, it's not football season anymore. Does it matter? Does it even matter?
No.
It doesn't even matter when it's football season.
It doesn't even matter in football season.
I'm married into this, man. I have no choice. I also like what you do with the basement. It's the open roof theme to the basement. That kind of makes it a pit.
The sunroof in the basement is like...
We're just sitting in an open pit in Florida.
Well, I like it down here. It's cold. It's damp. You know, it's kind of dark, you know, drippy.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
Yes, it is, Bane. All right. Maury, Brent, and myself are with the Bourbon Mafia. The Bourbon Mafia is a nonprofit organization composed of bourbon enthusiasts and industry professionals. With representation in 8 states, our members combine a love of bourbon with a passion for charitable work. The group uses their love of our native spirit to raise money for local and national charities through rare bottle auctions and other themed events. Check us out on Facebook at The Bourbon Mafia. And our show is also sponsored in part by the Fort Lauderdale Whiskey Society. To find out more about the Whiskey Society and their events, you can visit them online at ftlws.com.
This episode is brought to you by Untuck It, shirts specifically designed to be worn untucked. Visit untuckit.com for your solution to perfecting casual. Use promo code SIPS for 20% savings.
And our show is also sponsored in part by Fine Spirits in Cooper City, Florida, home of the Enigmatic Machine, serving great wines, spirits, and other whiskeys by the glass. You can find them at
www.finespirits.net or facebook.com/finespirits. And we are not a private group, so you can just come and just like us and visit us. Come down to Florida.
He just wants somebody to like him because God knows none of the rest of us do. All right. Our sip segments are all about wine, distilled spirits, tea, coffee. And today's show is a distiller's takeover show with whiskeys from the folks at Smooth Ambler Distillery. And here's the whiskeys we're going to be discussing today. Smooth Ambler Old Scout American Whiskey, Smooth Ambler Wheated Bourbon, Smooth Ambler Contradiction, Smooth Ambler Old Scout Single Barrel 12-year, Smooth Ambler Old Scout 10-year, and Smooth Ambler Old Scout 8-year rye. So why don't we have Harm tell us a little bit about our SIPS ratings?
Oh, is that me now? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, get with the program, man.
Do I have to do an accent? I don't want to do an accent today.
Sure.
Well, since they're from West Virginia.
Maybe you should do a West Virginian accent. Hillbilly accent.
I'm not sure I can do a hillbilly accent, but... no, that's too southern. How do hillbilly talk? They talk kind of like that?
You want something like we like down here in the South? Is that what you want?
Well,
Yeah! Oh, yeah! That's a good one. I like that. So, let's do this way.
Get a Slim Jim.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Pick your Southern accent, dude. I'm the master. I've got about 400 of them in my head.
Yeah, and they're in my head too, and I can't stop hearing.
I'm
the
not real good
screams.
with West Virginia. I don't have a lot of experience there. Northern Virginia versus Southern Virginia.
I was at a wedding in West Virginia, but I'm not. Let's just get on to the sips ratings.
Okay, that
go
must
ahead.
have been
Do it.
scary.
We rate our whiskeys because we have a whole like.
You were at a wedding in West Virginia? They had they had
weren't related.
They
so
had it
it
at their
didn't
mom's
count.
house because it was
didn't
easy
count.
since they both already lived there.
No, I know.
right.
They weren't
Were
related.
either of them over
It got
14?
annulled. It got annulled. They weren't.
No, she wasn't an old maid. So, all right, give us a sips rating already before this
All right.
goes straight in the toilet.
Fine. One sip. Give me a glass of water to wash out my mouth.
Gangadin, water. Gangadin, bring water. Bring water.
You
That
got a
was
real,
not a southern accent at the
you
end there.
got a real
Bring in the
pretty
water.
mouth. Well, Southern India.
Yeah, that's true. 2 sips. Nice. What else you got?
Well, isn't that nice?
3 sips.
Squeal like a pig.
That's quite interesting. What was that again?
I just
He's
Why-
saving the
why is
squealing
he
for
not laughing?
5. He's saving the squealing for 5.
4 sips. Let's keep this one a secret to ourselves. Pour me another.
That's classified.
you're keeping the squealing secret to yourself as well.
Yeah.
5 sips. Oh my. I was unaware anything could be this good. I can't do a Brent, squeal. Squeal like a pig, Brent.
Even when he does a pig, it sounds like a drunken leprechaun. I swear.
That's the season.
He's got one accent. All right.
It's almost season. It's
That was
okay.
seasonally appropriate. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of inbred from West Virginia, let's have Maury tell us about. Let's have Maury
Bob.
tell us about Smooth Ambler.
Thank you, Bob.
There's more than coal in West Virginia, Brent. Well, I mean,
Right about now, John Little and John Foster are shaking their heads, going, "We gave samples to these idiots." So,
Smooth
Hey, but
Ambler
thank you
was
for those
established
samples.
by Tag Gallion and his son-in-law John Little. In 2008, Tag read an article in Time magazine about the growth of craft distilling and left the article on John's desk with the words, "We can do this in your garage." In 2009, they decided to follow that dream and Smooth Ambler was born. To this day, that very article with Tag's initial notes hangs in the tasting room at Smooth Ambler. Located in Greenbrier County, West Virginia, they started out sourcing product, but over the years have moved into producing their own distillate as well.
wow. Thank you.
all right,
That's
let's move
so.
on.
I could have been doing this in my garage too. Then, no,
No,
you need talent. These guys have talent.
They do.
and
Things
still,
in your garage are generally
Yeah.
illegal.
yeah.
Well, the things in my garage, just don't tell the FBI. That's all. So we're good.
When they come in and kick the door in, he tries to tell them that equipment is actually a still and not his meth lab. So, all right, let's move on to our first expression, and we're going to have Justin tell us all about it.
Old Scout American whiskey. It's 49.5% alcohol by volume.
Would that be 99 proof?
It would.
Thank you.
And Old Scout American whiskey is made of a
Ooh,
blend.
he does math. Look at him. He's special.
I was gonna wait. Why is one lawyer helping the other lawyer do math? I thought you only work in like things like 33%.
33 and a third.
Yeah,
Don't
33
cut
and a
my
third, yeah.
3% off.
Yeah. You could get I'll tell you right now, watch this. If you settle before trial, what is your take on pie?
33 and a third.
Yeah. See? He'll give you an exact number, trust me.
Oh, yeah. So, Old Scout American whiskey is made of a blend of sourced Indiana high rye bourbon and Tennessee whiskey, aged 5 years in quote unquote rejuvenated barrels.
Well, that's why it's
Rejuvenated.
whiskey and it's not bourbon, so because you can't put it in anything but new oak. So
That's right. New charred oak.
Well, and once they blend 2 different distilleries together as well, it's also,
Can't be bourbon.
it can't be bourbon
Right.
anymore either.
So it's definitely not bourbon.
Not bourbon.
That's why it's American whiskey.
There you go.
It's American whiskey.
American.
American.
drop the A. Yeah. All right. What do you think?
Well, it was light yellow in color. It tasted it smelled very corny. There wasn't much heat. It was kind of like mellow corn without the complexity. It had a short finish. I gave it 2 sips.
Well, isn't that nice?
I'm just trying to figure out where he got yellow. Anyway,
It's not yellow.
He was drinking limoncello.
Oh, wait. Was that the sample from Maury's office?
country time. Yeah. Oh, no. You don't ever pick up and drink anything in the urologist's office. That's a bad idea.
That's right.
Right.
All right, Brent, what did you
To
think?
that effect.
Okay, this is the light with the color. This is the lightest of all the samples that we do have.
Yeah.
That goes
Used
without
barrels.
saying.
Yeah, used barrels. That's
it's a
fine.
blend of it. Rejuvenated barrels.
You and the
still
color.
get, you still get good flavor out of rejuvenated barrels.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, it's nothing. I got a little mild nose of pepper, vanilla, and a little allspice pepper. I didn't get as much corn on it. I got a little bit of tobacco on the flavor, but the finish was a medium to short to medium finish. I get a little bit of bitterness. I guess that's from the wood tannins. On the very end of it, a little bit of berries, but I just give this. It's I like where this is going. They've made a barrel program out of this. This is not one of the barrel picks, but it is going very well, and it is improving. As it ages, every 6 months when they get new product in and stuff, and I can give this 2 sips.
Nice.
No, Maury, what did you think?
Well, isn't that nice?
I'm going to echo a little bit about what both Justin and Brent said. I think, again, the color is light. You don't drink color.
Do you want me to play the Bane again? Darkness is your friend.
I found it to be a little bit one note. It didn't really have the complexity that I was looking for and hoping for. I felt like the finish was fairly short. It's a light whiskey. It's nicely made. 2 sips.
All right.
Well, isn't that nice?
Harm?
Well, I have to agree with everything that's been said. It's lighter. I got some of that sweet corn up front, and I saw what Justin was saying, and what good old boy Brent was saying. I did get some tobacco and that pepper. I didn't get so much the vanilla, but that corn note.
Very little light on the vanilla. Yeah.
Corn.
So-
Now, what'd you say?
It's 2 sips.
Well, isn't that nice?
We'll be back. Hey guys, this is Made Man Bob from Sips, Suds, and Smokes, and I wanted to tell you about DollarShaveClub.com. A lot of folks tell me I have a face for radio, and keeping that face looking good is always a challenge. But Dollar Shave Club makes it easy to look my best with everything from Dr. Carver's Shave Butter, my personal favorite, to shampoo, body wash, toothpaste, hair gel, and even wipes that'll leave your backside squeaky clean. And there's a great way to try a bunch of Dollar Shave Club's products. For just $5, you can get their Daily Essential Starter Kit. It comes with their calming body cleanser, One Wipe Charlie's, the amazing butt wipes, and their world-famous Dr. Carver's Shave Butter, and their best razor, the 6-Blade Executive. Keep the blades coming for a few more bucks a month and add in shampoo, toothpaste, and anything else you need. Check it all out at DollarShaveClub.com/suds. That's DollarShaveClub.com/suds.
My hand is yours forever, sweet love.
And we're back, and we are talking about whiskeys from the Smooth Ambler Distillery out of West Virginia. So we are just finished up with the Old Scout American whiskey. Let's move on to our next one, and we'll have Brent tell us about it.
Thanks, Bob. Our next product is the Smooth Ambler Wheated Bourbon. It's at 50% ABV, also 100 proof. It's non-age stated. This expression is their first distilled in-house at Smooth Ambler, and it is a bourbon whiskey using wheat as the flavor grain. Now, since it is their first product, it is on the young side. I think it's only a couple years old. We got these last year, so. But it's got a nice, nice light copper color. You get some of the hints of the wheated bourbon on the nose, not a lot. I definitely get some of the tannins in there from its age because it hasn't quite fully developed yet. It really needs some more time to really bring out those vanillas and the caramels that you get from a wheated bourbon. On the palate, you get some of them, but you get the tannins are a little bit overpowering for it. The finish, it's a short to medium finish. It's again, the vanillas and the caramels that you want with the wheated bourbon are not fully developed yet. So, but I like where this is going. I like that this is their product. It's come a long way. I look forward to it in 2 to 3 more years. Right now, I'm just going to give this 2 sips.
All right.
That's fair.
Well, isn't that nice?
Arm, what'd you think?
I agree with him. I mean, we were talking about this one earlier.
2 in a row?
2 in a row.
God, we've gone back in time.
I've come in
We're
all
in the land of the
congenial
lost.
tonight. That's like
Look out for slee stacks.
why am I agreeing with you people? You're all horrible people. Oh, anyway,
Just the lawyers.
so that's just the lawyers. But so the nose, Bob, I think you mentioned when we were talking before the show, it smells like plumber's putty. It's got that.
It's got that almost. I go back to that a lot because I used to do that for a living. But
not
when
plumber's crack.
No. But when it's that sort of putty nose to it that I get a lot of times out of a really young 100% rye. Mm-hmm. And you get that nose out of it. And I'm getting it out of this, which kind of
It's weird.
took me for a turn because this is a weeded whiskey. So that one kind of messed my head up a little bit.
Do you still have it in your glass?
Yeah.
I'm going to blow your mind. Watch this. I gave this some air. So it started the plumber's putty. Now it's kind of like a yeasty bread, like a sweet roll.
It's transitioning, yeah.
Yes. But I came back to it. It's kind of like almost like raw dough.
Yeah,
that
that's
wheat
exactly what it is.
Yes,
raw dough.
yes.
It's not quite.
It's like it hasn't been cooked yet.
Yeah.
It's
You know?
not. It
needs time in the
started
barrel.
straight out of the bottle. The putty nose was
But
there.
it's benefited from time
and
in the
it's-
glass.
and it's turning more weedy and more sweet as the air gets
It's
to
there.
it. So
It's coming up.
I didn't really appreciate it very much when it first poured, but 20, 30 minutes in the glass has done wonders for this whiskey.
It's more of that like a yeasty roll, a raw dough type thing almost.
like a sweet yeast rolls.
Very little fruit on this one. It's just about sweetness here. I mean, the finish is pleasant, but not great either. But just needs time. With this honey and bread type thing going on, I just need some butter in it. I need some butter, maybe some oak.
I got your butter.
I gave it 2 sips.
All right.
Good old boy Maury. Do you care?
Well, isn't
Do you
that
care that I
nice?
gave it 2 sips? Are you going to agree with me? Is this going to freak
I'm not
everybody
going to
out?
agree with you. I'm going to agree with Brent. And give it 2 sips. But I agree with everything that Brent said. I'm not going to wax poetic about the yeast and the bread. I'm just going to say that it's young. I think it's going the right direction. Weeded bourbons tend to need a little more time.
Yeah.
And this one's a good example. I do want to make another couple comments about what some of the things Brent said, and that is that this expression is 100% distilled by them in-house. They've really been distilling since day one. I don't know that this is their first true product. I've had their yearling bourbon, which was the one that they produced.
Right.
They have produced some products that are distilled in-house.
Those are small batches, though. Yearling was a small
Everything
batch,
is small that they're doing. They started in-house very small and taking their time and letting stuff age before being released, which is what led them to go to sourcing a lot of products. And they've done a really great job with sourced bourbon. Considering that the stuff is sourced, it's really developed quite a cult following. And so
Huge cult following on the sourcing.
Yeah.
On the sourcing
the guys
of
have really done a fantastic
especially
job.
when it gets to
So you're saying you need talent, not just a garage.
Correct. You need talent plus a garage.
Oh man, we're screwed.
Yeah, they're
I
not.
invested so much money in that garage.
Yeah, but their rick houses or their warehouses are very different than what you think of as a traditional rick house.
Yeah, most people have a regular Rick house. They have a Rick James house.
Yeah, Rick James house.
Rick James,
because it's a steel house that uses the heat from the mountains and the coolness.
Where's Dave Chappelle when you need him?
You know, and they're just stored on barrel racks versus the traditional racks in a rick house.
Has anyone ever called you a geek before? Because you're kind of a freaking geek.
That's okay.
Justin, what, you're just looking at him. You got your mouth's open. You got something to say about
moving,
this?
but nothing's coming out.
This whiskey was super freaky.
Super freaky.
So it's
Like
light
Rick
brown,
James.
light brown in color.
Well, that's
How a
just
bourbon
like,
should look.
your opinion.
Brown.
I got some cardamom spice, some
The
heat
wrong
on the
music
nose,
pulled up for that.
and I thought it was really well balanced between
I got the cardamom too. That's good. Good one. Yeah.
between the sweet notes and the fire notes, and the finish. It was a nice oaky finish. I gave this 3 sips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice.
So you're cutting up some more slack with that.
I thought it was more tannic than oaky. I agree with Brent. There's a lot of tannin and definitely some youthfulness there.
It's still appealing.
No,
in 5 years, I think this is like.
Yeah, I think this is going to be stunning.
When it gets up to the age of what you're talking of, some of the other larger distilleries, they'll make weeded bourbon of the Maker's Mark or Buffalo Trace. I mean, I think this is going to be very, very
Oh yeah,
it's going to be very nice.
Yeah, it's like going to the old Roadhouse restaurant and eating sweet yeast rolls. I mean, it's just it's really really nice. The tannin is a little bit much for it because I think it's on that incline before it drops. The tannin drops back down, so it's a little more tannic than oaky. But I think they've done a good job on it. I give it a solid 3.
Nice. So, would anybody use this for a cocktail, or would you just do it neat?
I would definitely want to use this as a cocktail. This is not one I want to drink right now as a neat product.
So, but good for a cocktail.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
All right. Well, it's time for our next whiskey, so we're going to have Harm tell us about it. So,
well, Smooth Ambler Contradiction is a blend of wheated bourbon, distilled at Smooth Ambler Distillery, and then there's some sourced Indiana rye-based bourbon. The whiskeys are blended, then refilled in their original barrels for 3 more months to marry the flavors. And
thank you very much.
Sounds like marrying your cousin.
Yeah.
It's not really a cousin,
but an older cousin.
It's like it's like you're taking a whiskey from one part of the world and you're marrying it to a whiskey from another part of the world, and you put them in a barrel. No, this analogy's going the wrong way. It's just gross now.
Yeah,
So I'm coming back to this after it's gotten some air, but my initial. Yeah. It's a very pretty amber color. The first nose was sweet corn and flowers. Second nose, I got a little bit of more floral notes, some little bit of citrus, and the palate was sweet and spicy. Had a medium weight. I got lots of pepper on the finish with some cinnamon. But in the meantime, I've let this sit for a while, and the nose has really improved. It's just gorgeous now. A little more brown sugars coming out. More red fruit.
Yeah, you get some cherries with that. Yeah.
Just it's been sitting on the table here. Wow. Yeah, it's gotten much better with air. And
everything about it's gotten better with air. Honestly, straight out of the bottle.
Originally, I would have given it a 3, and just based on everything, but I have to give it a 4. Just letting it sit here. It's sitting. Let it sit in the glass. This is just a beautiful whiskey. So 4 sips.
That's classified.
Well, I'd point out we started out with a bottle that had about 2 inches and had been sitting open for quite some time, and it was just dead flat. We let it sit way too long. And then we opened
over 10 months, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I picked it up from John at the Whiskey Obsession in Sarasota last April. So as soon as we poured it and we all tasted, we all looked at each other and went, no. So
people have to worry about oxidation.
Fortunately, we had the new one and we opened that one up, and when we opened that one up, it was tight, and the extra 20 minutes has really opened it up. So
let me try that again. I'll let that sit and come back.
Pour yourself another.
I'll pour myself another.
What do you think, Brent?
Well, I hate agreeing with Harm, so I won't.
Yeah, I would agree with him.
For me,
agreeing with Harm gets you nowhere.
I know that. For me, I got a lot of this. I got a lot of those notes, the cherry notes, more of the traditional bourbon notes with the vanilla and the pepper, the allspice. Same thing on the palate. I got the cinnamon, the vanilla, the peppers and stuff. But the finish is a medium. I'm not as high up on this as you are. I don't enjoy it as much. And that's okay, but
it's okay.
I like the label more. It's like an elephant on top of a barrel.
On dope?
Yeah. An elephant on top of a barrel. How can you go with that? But I like where they're going with this, where they use their own product and they blended it with something else. And
they're taking a younger whiskey that
they're trying to move. You can see where they're moving with this, where they're moving from their product to the other product and moving it together. I prefer but I like where it's going, but I'm just going to give this 3 sips.
All right. Justin, what do you think?
I think that it's a little bit young, and I'd love to try this with a steak to see if the savory fat would just bring more heat out. Because I think there's heat in there that's trapped in there that I can't get to.
You'd like to try pond water with a steak, chunky boy.
I gave it 2 sips.
All right. Maury, what'd you think?
Well, isn't that nice?
Well, I primarily agree with what Brent's had to say. I'm not as high on it as Harmeet, who is waxing poetic. I think it's definitely a step up. from the weeded bourbon. I do love the label with the elephant. It really just jumps right at you off the shelf.
Reminds me of that time that we were in that rick house at Maker's Mark, and Brent had drunk way too much, and he was sitting on top of it, swinging his hat like Slim Pickens, and you know,
yelling
riding it. Yeah. Very similar.
Exactly. I like the color. I like the palate feel. It definitely improved dramatically with air and being in the glass. I have to admit, when I first poured it, I was not a fan, and it really improved dramatically. So, moral of the story is let it open, let it aerate, swirl it in your glass, give it a good 20, 30 minutes. And it's a very nice, fine drinking whiskey. It's going the right direction. It is a little bit young for my palate. I do love what they're doing in terms of the boo rye concept of mixing bourbon and rye. I love that some of it's sourced and some of it's made there at the distillery. Great job. And give it a solid 3 sips.
Interesting.
All right. Well, as much as I hate to do it, I actually have to agree with Knucklehead next to me. Once this thing got some air in it, the fruit on it really, really came out. And I mean, the cherries on this thing are just knocking me over.
So I just want to point out that there are 2 knuckleheads sitting next to you, and people aren't watching a video of us. So which knucklehead are you agreeing with?
I think they
the white one or the brown one?
I think they just figured it out. So yeah, I think they just
trap, Bob. Don't do it.
I mean, it's. I'm not saying that it's the best thing that we've had today, but it really, once it got air, this thing really, really changed, and I'm enjoying it. It's got some nice body to it. It definitely could use a little bit more time, but we're all proof freaks and age freaks here as it is. So I think, there's very little that you'd bring to this table that we wouldn't go add a little more ABV or another 2 years onto it. So, I think it's a solid pour, and I think it's only going to get better. I give it a solid 3. So
interesting.
All right. So let's move on to our next whiskey. So
why don't you tell us about it,
Bob?
I'm
going to do this one. This is a Smooth Ambler Old Scout single barrel. It's 12 years old. It's 54.7 ABV. So it's older and higher proof. So everyone should like it. It was barrel 5908. This one, man, if you don't like this, there's something broken deep down in your soul. Oh, the nose on it, it's huge. I mean, the oak is just, it's just perfect. The nose is absolutely lovely. Let me have a sip. Hold on.
Yeah, while you're having a sip, I just want to smell it some more. Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this one, the nose is just, this is one of those ones, my wife will make fun of me, then sometimes I'll pour one in and I'll just carry it around the house for an hour and just smell it. I'll never drink it. This is one of those that I could do that
There's
too.
something wrong with you.
Yeah, pretty much. But all I know is when I drink this, I just think to myself, yeah, that's it.
That's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, encapsulated perfectly.
It hits it out of the park. I mean, the sweetness is there, a little bit of brown sugar, the vanilla on the back end. There's a lot of toffee on this. It's got just the right amount of wood tannin in it. It's not bitter, but it's just that slight bit of astringency that oh man. Yeah, this one definitely is solid 4 all the way.
Bob, are they giving us any information as to where the sourcing is coming from? Is it all coming out of Indiana?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All of it is. Yep. And they stopped doing it when last year at Whiskey Obsession, I asked John about that, and he said, flat out, the reason why we had to stop was because all the other craft distilleries everybody's buying it. And he goes, we can't sell our product for $100 a bottle. Even though that's what it's selling for on secondary, we just can't buy it and sell it for that because, it's not in our best interest. We just can't do it. So many craft distilleries are going after their product that they can't compete with it.
I'm confused as to what you just said.
I have no idea what he just said.
Oh, I asked them about why they discontinued the barrel program. and they ran out. They ran out of their product there.
Well, I think that speaks to the fact that there's a shortage and people who had contracts, those contracts are coming up. LDI's running low on stocks, especially of aged whiskeys, and everybody's had trouble scrambling to meet their source.
Right. So they're not buying it because it would cost, if they bought it, it would just cost too much. It would cost $100 a bottle. And, they're not going to do that. They didn't want to do that to their customers.
What are they charging for a bottle now?
You can get one of these for usually around $60.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not bad.
They've got a beautiful facility.
That's a steal on this whiskey.
It is a steal.
They've got a beautiful facility. They've been distilling there from pretty much day one. And as they knew that the white spirits aren't going to sell a whole lot, they very early on were one of the front runners of getting product out of Indiana before everybody else was doing it. And I think the fact that everybody's jumped on the bandwagon has really dried up those stocks of available whiskeys. But it's a great place to visit. I highly recommend if you're in and around the West Virginia area.
It seems like Maury jumped to the end of the show. We were still
I don't know what the hell he's doing. We're talking about it. What did you think?
What did you think about this one,
Mr. Wordy?
Oh, you want me to tell you about it?
Tell us about this whiskey, man. Maury's like summarizing.
I'm not summarizing.
I've been drinking.
I'm just telling you I like
You obviously have a wonderful economy with words. I look forward to your next syllable with great eagerness.
Listen, the 12 is the best expression we've had today. It's a beautiful whiskey. It's classic bourbon at its finest, barrel proof. There's nothing wrong with this whiskey. I can only say good things about it. It's a solid four sipper. If you see a bottle of the 12-year-old, buy it.
Yeah, that's 100%. Good boy, Justin.
I agree with everything Maury said. Only thing I can add was when I first started nosing it, it was one note to me, and then after about 15, 20 minutes of air, a whole world opened up, and I can't believe this is only $60.
The scales have fallen from your
See
eyes,
it?
my friend.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Right.
I think he just grabbed the wrong glass. Yeah. All right, Brent, what'd you think?
Yeah, I have to agree. This is the darkest of all the ones we've had today, and obviously the year, because of the year the 12 years it had time to develop that. But all the spices that we get in this, the mouthfeel is delicious. Nothing wrong with this. This is obviously the best one we've had today. I love it. It's 4 sips to me.
I agree. I concur. Hit that button again, boy. 4 more sips.
I don't know. I wanted to play my Bane clip again. He's so into it being dark.
4 sips. 4 sips.
It's not just the destination, but baby.
Hey guys, it's never a good look when you untuck a long, bulky dress shirt. You may think it makes you look casual, but more than likely it just ends up looking sloppy. That's why Untuck It makes shirts specifically designed to be worn untucked. A casual shirt that's not too long and not too short. It's just right. Shirts designed so well, GQ calls them perfection. Untuck It shirts are a go-to for any occasion from casual to dressy. And not only do they look good, they feel great. If you're a woman wishing you can have one of these, well, Untuck It now makes shirts for women too. Shirts for her that are casual, versatile, and designed to last. Log on to untuckit.com and check out all the new arrivals. Use the promo code SIPS for 20% off your entire purchase. You can also visit one of Untuckit's over 25 retail locations across the country. Stop hiding your shirt with your pants and your pants with your shirt. Untuckit.com, your solution to perfecting casual. Use promo code SIPS for 20% savings.
And we're back, and we're still sitting here making fun of Brent's email. So,
We're making fun of Maury's email.
Maury's email as well. Now, they're both on dial-up. So, it's,
Hey,
it's a step up. It used to be just hand delivered by flying monkeys. So, since we're talking about Maury, why don't we have you tell us about the next whiskey? Unless you want to just end the show now. Okay.
Well, thank you. I wasn't trying to end. I was just trying to interject some love about Smooth Ambler.
All right.
Okay, the next product is the Smooth Ambler Old Scout 10-year bourbon. It is 50% ABV or 100 proof for those of you who are mathematically challenged. It's got a beautiful
I resemble
color.
that remark.
It's got a beautiful color. It's a nice deep mahogany.
What's a third of that, Justin?
Very similar
There you go.
in color to the 12-year that we just spoke about. Again, beautiful nose, improved with the air and time in the glass. And that's been the theme today. Giving it time in the glass has really made a big difference for all of these whiskeys. They've improved on the palate. They've improved on the nose. They've improved on the finish.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Again, I think it's very similar to the 12-year-old. It's just its little baby brother. It's got a lot of the same notes. It's got classic bourbon flavors to it. Nice palate, nice mouthfeel, medium to long finish. I gave it a solid 3 sips.
Interesting.
3? After all that?
Well, 3.5's not an option.
There's a darkness in Maury. There really is.
I don't know. Somebody's
3.5's not an option.
Somebody went in his cornflakes this morning. I don't know. All right, Brent, what'd you think?
Okay, this is a nice dark copper color. It's not as dark as a 12-year, and it's just a couple of years.
Sorry, I have to do it.
Darkness is your ally. You merely adopted the dark.
Yeah.
I was born in it.
And yeah, I agree with what Maury said about this. You leave it in give us some time in the glass, and you get a lot of those notes of the pepper, the cherries, the vanilla, a little bit of tobacco. The only thing I didn't like about this one was I got a bitterness of the tannins from the barrel on the bottom, on the finish. And that's the only thing I didn't like. I got a little bit too much bitterness in it. So this one here, it'd be more for, for a cocktail for somebody instead of, drinking neat or drinking straight to me. But,
bitter table for two.
Bitter. Yeah, I know. I'm not Mr. Bitter, but
no, that's harm.
I know. I can't do the originally I was only going to give this one 2 sips, but after it sat in the bottle for a while, in the glass for a while here, I'm going to give it 3 sips.
Have you tried giving it just a touch of water?
I did try giving it a touch of water, and that helped. My philosophy on the water is, if they wanted me to drink it with water, they would have added a water bottle when I bought it.
Animal. All right. What do you think, Harm?
Well, my philosophy is if they wanted me to eat a cooked steak, they would have cooked it for me. I just buy the meat at the Publix and just take it home and eat it raw.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. So, yeah.
Well, steak tartare involves preparation. You don't just chew a raw steak. Come on, man. So, anywho.
No, I think Brent does. I have, yeah.
I still have the 12-year-old over there. I got to switch over glasses. Let me revisit, sir. Oh, beautiful nose. So I think both Maury and Brent, I don't dislike them personally, but I have to reevaluate them as, people.
They're people?
Well,
I'm confused. I thought Soylent Green was people.
Yeah. Soylent Green.
You have 3 or 4.
Green is people.
Yeah, Soylent Green is people.
It's a pretty color.
Evaluating.
There's a lot of vanilla. There's a lot of red fruit. There's cinnamon. There's just sweet bouquet to this thing. I love the mouthfeel. It's rich. I'm not saying it's as good as the 12-year-old, but it's got a nice medium to long finish, and it's all the flavors are there. It's hitting everything it needs to hit.
That's exactly what I said. It's the baby brother to the 12.
Yeah.
But it's not 3 sips, my friend. This is a 4-sip bourbon.
Okay.
This is definitely 4 sips.
Are you sure?
Okay.
I'm
entitled
sure.
to your brownness.
That's
Thank you.
classified.
They're just looking to find raw. They're just nitpickers. I'm sure their wives are so happy. Are you wearing that today? I mean, is that what you're wearing? Yeah, really?
I wasn't finding any flaws with it. I just...
Yeah. All right, Justin, what do you think?
So this one was weird. When I first poured it, I got
Justin,
intense flavors.
Ordered it?
It was weird.
Let me tell you, here in the basement, you can make an order all damn day, but you may wait till you die for that order to show up on your table, son.
So when I first had it, had a lot of intense flavor, brown sugar, heat, and then when air got to it, it got muted, and then I put a little bit of water in it, and it all washed away. So this one, just drink it right out of the bottle, and don't even bother with the glass. Don't even bother with the glass. And I gave it 3 sips.
Put a brown bag around the bottle, and you're going to be happy.
I didn't add water to this one now, but I'm just put some water in just to see you. What's going on? Brent, Bob, Boodle Boy Bob, did you actually?
At 50% ABV, I'm not adding water to it. If it was a little higher, I might Just put a drop or two in to tone it down.
Yeah, don't add the water. It's like Gremlins. No water, no light.
Yeah.
Just give us your bottom line, Bob. Do you agree with Brent or you agree with Harmeet?
I don't agree with any of you idiots. I think it's a extremely well made whiskey. I think it's delicious. It is. I can see what Brent's saying about it being a little bit on the tannic side. This particular one is a little bit tannic to me, but
tannins are your friend.
Yeah, but it's leaning. Whereas that 12 had just the right amount, this one I think is leaning just a little bit over. But
exactly, oak gives you tannin, lignin, vanillin. There's a lot of things coming out of oak.
Oh no, it drew a lot of the really good things out. I mean, the vanilla is there. I definitely get some red fruit, and some cherries, and some plums in this. The sweetness is there, and hold on, let me have a taste.
Try again. I went ahead. I liked it with the water. I think you guys are just proof hounds.
No.
Yes. You would drink it at 200 proof if they'd give it to you that way. Can they make bourbon at 200 proof?
No.
What's come off the still? What 127, 125, 125,
160. No higher than 125 in the barrel.
I'm going to bring you something the other.
But no, I think it's lovely. Again, I did like the 12 better, but I certainly wouldn't turn down a bottle of this if you handed it to me. I give it a solid 4.
See, I've been vindicated. Well, almost. It's only 2 of us gave it 4. Okay.
3-2.
3-2.
All right. Well, let's get on to the last whiskey we're going to try. And Brent, why don't you tell us about that one?
Okay, our last product is a Smooth Ambler Old Scout single barrel. It's a rye 8-year. This is a barrel pick. This means that somebody actually went there, chose a barrel. They got a number of barrels to choose from, 3 or 4 barrels, and they chose this one over the other ones. So you know that no matter what, it's better than at least like 2 or 3 other barrels. And that's the way I always look at it.
That's what your mother said about the kids too, but I won't tell you which one she was saying it about because that would make you sad.
She never picked me, I'll tell you that much.
That's for sure.
But this one is from Shorewood Liquors. This is 8 years, 62.6% ABV. So when you convert that over, 125.2 proof.
Damn, look at him. He's like the Stephen Hawking of math.
I look at the bottle. I can't add that quick. I can't double it that fast, but this is a nice dark golden color. You get the peppers, cherries, tobaccos on the nose right off the bat. Then you get it follows up on the palate. Beautiful mouthfeel with the peppers, cherries, allspice, tobacco, vanilla. It's great. Nice long finish. Very easy. You can see why the people love the ryes. And this is a perfect example of that. And, it's just, there's nothing wrong with this one. What's
wrong with it? The bottle's not full.
Yeah. The bottle's about empty. It's just about empty now. But, this is a very, very solid 4 sips.
All right. Maury, what'd you think?
That's classified.
Well, it seems to be a Brent day. I'm agreeing with Brent. I like everything he said about it. I happen to agree that it's very well made.
What are you people? On dope?
Yes, we're on dope. That being said,
yes,
I
Mr.
will
Hand.
say that when it was first poured in my glass, I found it borderline offensive. I really didn't like it in the first sip. And it wasn't until I let it sit and come back to it that it really just developed into this beautiful
like
whiskey.
The nose, just like,
that's just like your opinion, man.
I think the moral of the story is all these whiskeys, for whatever reason, seem to benefit from about 20 minutes worth of air.
I think so too. I really
think that the air has done wonders for these whiskeys, more so than water. And again, a beautifully made whiskey, definitely a keeper. Barrel pick, again, just adds a little icing to the cake. I gave it a solid 4 sips.
All right.
That's classified.
Justin, what'd you think?
It got high rye on the nose. It was sweet. It was a light brown color. It was spicy and had a long, fiery finish. I really appreciated this rye, and I gave it 4 sips.
All right.
That's classified.
He's so damn wordy. He just never ends, does he?
You can't shut him up. You just can't shut him up. That's all there is to it.
It's like a damn politician, I swear.
we got him on one side and Mr. Happy on the other, and between the two of them, there's a happy
I'm going to
middle.
wax poetic right here. Just for
Ask not what you can do for your bourbon, but what can your bourbon do for you?
There you go.
All right, kids.
Harm, we're coming to the end of the show.
Plums. I'm tasting plums.
Okay.
Spiced plums. This is it. I'm not having a stroke. The color was amber.
You
At
look like
first,
you're
the
having a
nose was
stroke.
all about cherry and allspice, just like Brent said. But I gave it 20 minutes of air, and oh my gosh.
The nose really comes out after
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Wow. So much spice. Plums, cloves, cinnamon, allspice. Flowers. I got rose petals at first, too. Then, wow. This is just gorgeous. A drop of water brought a little more rose petal out. The proof is beautiful. I loved it without water, too. This is one of the whiskeys that, it's 62.6% ABV. Did you look at that proof again? I know they wrote it down somewhere.
125.2.
Yeah. Normally, this is something I add a lot of water to, but this just is so smooth that we're talking about tannins and lignans and vanilla and all this. There is enough age on this whiskey that all that good stuff came out of the oak, and it made the mouth feel amazing. And it's easily 4 sips. I mean, it's bordering on 5 for me, but it's 4 sips.
That's classified.
But spiced plum, man. Anybody else taste that?
I don't know, man. I just, what do you think, Rick?
Pretty mouthfeel.
Bob's got the
Yeah,
nose.
I'm with Rick. I'm sorry. Woo.
Bob's got the glass duct tape to his nose. I don't know what that means.
I could just.
Are you doing the Richard Patterson?
Yeah. Yeah. I could just sit there and just drink this thing all day. I could smell this thing.
Get your nose right in there, boy. Put your nose right
The nose on this thing is just magnificent. It's, I pick up the clove, I pick up the cinnamon, I pick up the allspice. It's like and a lot of like a rich old leather bag. Oh my God, this thing is just really. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the nose on
I'd
this.
resent you talking about my customers like that.
Old leather bag?
I was going to go with your wife, but I didn't want to get hit.
No, she's in the other room.
She's in the other room.
She'll stick you. She will. She don't like you anyway, but she will stick you.
Right.
I think your wife is younger than me. So
She'll take those jackalope antlers and hurt you.
Yeah, this is an absolutely lovely rye. And I remember when I bought this, and I should have bought 2 at the time, but I only bought
you
one.
should.
Just 2. I know. It's like just 2.
Oh, it's really
And
pretty.
it's just, I can agree with Mr. Happy. The proof is just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's, at 162 and change, it's,
125, 35.
yeah, I don't really need to add water to it. I did add a little water to it. I didn't get much improvement out of it. I think it's dead
perfect,
on.
yeah.
And a lot of times something at 60 plus will be a little bit hot. You'll get, this one's not
hot.
I mean, this one is just
not hot.
This one came
really
out of the
balanced.
barrel
Very
and just,
very
this is
well
one of those
balanced.
ones where they emptied the barrel and they just looked at it and they went, we'll leave it alone. Just leave it alone, put it in the bottles and get it on the truck. Yeah. This one is lovely. It's a solid 4 bordering on a 5.
That's classified.
I just wish I had more.
Yeah. For some reason, once they move these rye barrels over to West Virginia, it does something to them when they let them sit there for
It's
a
the
couple
coal
years.
dust. It's the coal dust.
The coal dust.
That's what I'm tasting. Black lung.
Yeah. I mean, it really does improve it. I mean, I've had other places that have.
I'm
the same-
tasting economic insecurity
the
here.
ryes that, and they just don't come through as much as they do sitting in West Virginia for a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and
It's
that's
the
the thing,
weather
they're buying this stuff and they're putting it in the rick house and they're letting it sit there for a while as well. It's not like they're just,
Right.
calling up. They're not calling up to somebody going, hey, what do you got? Put it in a bottle and send it to us.
The weather of the Appalachian Mountains.
Well, we
there
really don't know
does-
how long they're aging it in their own rick houses. We just know that it's more than a day.
Thanks for that so insightful input. Awesome.
No. He was trying to throw water on your
Yeah, I
little,
know.
your little theory here.
I know.
He's an iconoclast. You call me Mr. Happy, but look over there.
Yeah, I know.
There's the real darkness at this table right here.
Oh yeah.
He's been in a mood since this morning. So, I don't know.
As punishment for your desertion, it's company policy to give you the plague.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, this one's lovely. But overall, what did you guys think of everything?
I think normally this is where we would summarize the show, but Maury did that about 30 minutes ago.
I wasn't summarizing the show.
I love where Smooth Ambler. I love where they're going. I mean, I love exactly where they're going. They have this. They have this vision. They're doing it. They're making their own product.
You see it on the shelf, buy it.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with anything Smooth Ambler.
You're not going to go wrong. Just buy it, enjoy it.
Oh yeah,
and I love where they're going. I mean,
if you're paying retail for it, I mean, it's the secondary market that's the problem.
The secondary market is a problem with everything.
Yeah, their entry level whiskey's good, and their higher end stuff is stunning. So you can't beat it. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. Hope you enjoyed this episode.
But there's more 12-year-old, right? Where's that?
Don't say that in West Virginia. People get excited. We hope you enjoyed this episode. You can catch all of our episodes online, as well as on SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, PRX, and Spreaker, our native media host. iTunes, Google Play, and our own Android app are the easiest ways to enjoy the show on your phone. Search for Sips, Suds, and Smokes on iTunes or in the Google Play Store. Be sure to tap subscribe, and we'll always be on your phone. We love your feedback, so please send us an email, send us some information at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com, and our daily tasting notes flow out on Twitter every day at SipSudsSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You can also interact with all the thousands of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor and please take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. It's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. I want to thank our co-host for joining me today. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you. It looks like I lost my jackalope antlers.
Thank you, Maury.
Thank you, Bob. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Mr. Happy.
Well, as they say in the vernacular, yeehaw.
You want the woo? You want Ric Flair back?
Oh, please bring it. Bring it. Come on, man. I'm here for you. That's what I'm talking about.
And for Sips, Suds, and Smokes, this is Made Man Bob, and we thank you for joining us. And remember, life is too short to drink bad whiskey.
We can drink some other whiskey, though.
What does that mean?
Well, it means we can drink good whiskey.
You can always
in a
drink
short
good
time. Yeah.
I don't know.
Are we doing a Scotch show? I need a Scotch.
No way. There's no Scotch today.
Brent's here.
I'm here.
You think we're drinking Scotch? Brent's here.
Cheers.
And we're out.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.